What's happening, YouTube? It's Trev. I'm a little exasperated right now because I actually just recorded this video, and I find myself getting so aggravated, and just kind of over the top. The last one that I did, and I can't even release what I just recorded. I can't, right? I could, but I shouldn't. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try to maintain my composure. And I want to talk about Shytoshi Kusama. And I want to talk about this article that was just released. We've been waiting all day for it. It was just released. I already said that I had no feeling at all that it was going to actually tell us anything about Shibarium at all. And I'm absolutely right. It didn't. But beyond that, it went so far that it aggravated me to the point where like I said, I can't even publish the video that I just made, right? So I'm going to try to keep this one together because I don't want to be here all night doing this. But I do want to show this to you. Let me go to it. I'm at the bottom of it here. Let me go up to the top. Some really cool artwork. So here's the deal, right? People were expecting maybe something from Shibarium on Valentine's Day. We found out that that wasn't going to happen. This cryptic tweet that was put out, that's not what it meant, right? Because Shytoshi has this idea that he wants to release a series of Medium articles that are going to introduce Shibarium to the world. And he's gonna break it to you in different pieces because he's got so much to say. This first one is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. And the next one to come is also going to be a bunch of crap. This is a tactic to keep delaying, to keep the hype alive. Because at this point, I'm convinced that Shibarium ain't going to be nothing. Isn't going to be anything different than any other blockchain, and maybe not even do as much as some other blockchains do. There's nothing left here for him to do but try to hype the hell out of it and try to make it last as long as possible. Here's what we want. We want Shibarium released. You said it's done, right? Release it. Release the beta, release whatever it is, release it. Just get it working. Just get it going, right? We don't need article after article after article of you pontificating whatever marvelous things you have going on in your head, right? Just release it. Make it work. Get it going. Let people come on chain, right? Get your validators going. Get your delegators going. Get the thing working, right? Lower your fees. Let's find out what it does. What are the fees? Does it burn SHIB or not? How does that work? Let's just get it going. We don't need all of these articles. They're absolutely ridiculous and just... It's all about ego. It's all about ego. This person, this Shytoshi, whoever they are, is more full of themselves than anybody I've ever heard of or met in my life. He loves hearing himself talk, I guess, but loves reading his whatever you want to call it, right? But he uses a bunch of big words and says, a lot of things, right? Puts it all together and articulates it. And when you really read it, none of it means a thing. He's playing you. He thinks you're stupid. And he thinks that the cooler he makes it sound, the more you'll believe that he actually is doing something. But he's not doing a thing. He's not saying a thing. And there are some people that will be fooled by it. Up to this point, there have been a lot of people that have been fooled by it. I want you to open your eyes and see what's going on here. Anyone who has supported this person and thinks that there's anything that is actually going to be delivered to you that is going to do anything for your life, you need to open your eyes and do some self-reflecting. because you're not going to get that, right? Yeah, this is my opinion. That's all it is. I don't know the future. I don't know everything. It's just my opinion. But it's my opinion. And it's a strong opinion that I have, that this person is really, really being disrespectful to the community that supports him, and he's playing you. Let me go into a little bit of this article. I'm not going to go all the way through it because I got to tell you, it gets really weird and it gets really offensive, to be honest with you. So anyway, he starts off with this quote from The Art of War, Sun Tzu, as he always does. And, cryptic, whatever it means something to him. He loves basking in his own intelligence. It's obvious from the way he writes that he thinks he is just so far above everybody, right? And we're all lucky that he actually gives us these things. He gifts us with his knowledge, right? I think this is how he thinks. But anybody with half a brain realizes he's not saying a damn thing. For what feels like a millennia, the world has been divided. This division of thought, the disconnect between our values and beliefs, are primarily an illusion created by shadowy feline entities to maintain the status quo. These shadow cats hide behind their power and influence a vast network of corrupted wealth that utilizes obscure technology and brute force to keep the majority of the population broken down and debilitated. And he's got this pretty cool art, right? These shadow cats, right? So he's letting everyone know how corrupt and how bad the world is. Well, we already knew that. We want to know about Shibarium, right? What is this? Well, he goes on basically to say that all the injustice in the world and all the fighting and arguing amongst everybody, the epic battles of good and evil, the differences in religions, and how how they've never really been able to come together. Well, Shibarium's the solution to all of that. Did you know that? Did you just think that it was a blockchain? It's not. It's more than that. It's going to unite the world, all the religions, and conquer evil. This is what Shibarium's going to do. I shit you not. This is what this says. I'm going to let you read it for yourself, but I'll go through a little bit of it. What is Shibarium? Well, we've asked that question a lot, and he's asked that question himself. He never really answers it, and he doesn't answer it here. Thus far, we've stated that Shibarium is a layer 2 blockchain that allows anyone to build digital product, to conduct peer-to-peer transactions, and other basic capabilities. But that is only the beginning. Shibarium is so much more. As the lead who is dedicated to the founding vision of Ryoshi for the larger SHIB ecosystem, I can confidently say what we've created is the first step in a global movement to end the cycle of abusive control by embracing the power of decentralization. So Shibarium is going to solve all these problems. That's phenomenal. This approach is a multifaceted one. Shibarium is not only the tool that empowers the SHIB army to utilize digital assets in the form of tokens and NFTs or gain access to digital places like Metaverse. Shibarium also encourages closed community product loops. The ability to launch community-originated, Shiba-branded physical products in real life with more utility than ever before. Exercise product loyalty by choosing quality equivalent Shiba-oriented goods. And of course, craft unique, community-powered platforms unaffiliated with the SHIB development team. In fact, the only centralized aspect of Shibarium is a core system of corresponding interface that allows us to foster actual trust as we embark on this journey together in a previously trustless society, in a series of validators and delegators that keep the system decentralized and operational We'll get back to these two special positions in a later article. This is a very long paragraph that said absolutely nothing. Did you think it said something? There's a bunch of big words in there. It sounded really intelligent. It said absolutely nothing. Basically what it said is that this is going to do absolutely nothing for SHIB. What we do is we use SHIB. We use the Shiba brand for the things that we're going to do. And, make Shiba-oriented goods like, because Shiba's a dog, right? So we got bone and we got leash and we got treat. And so nothing that we don't already know. We already know that they use the likeness of Shib, the popularity of Shib, to create all these other things, but that's not Shiba Inu. And nothing here actually is going to benefit Shiba Inu at all that we know about so far, right? Shibarium common values. In other words, if you're going to be on this blockchain, you're going to build here, there are some common values that you should really have before you can really interact with these people, because they're so high above everybody that you've got to come up to their plane or his in order to really build. Now, it says that not everybody's going to be able to meet all of these expectations, but at least if you consider them, if you're aware of them, you're going to be on the same wavelength, right? So burn. We, the Shibarium core, also known as early adopters, whatever, are committed to building a global ecosystem and encourage burning Shib on every Shibarium project. Did you hear that? We encourage burning Shib on every Shibarium project. So, is there going to be a burn on every Shibarium project? No. They encourage it, but they don't insist on it. It's not required. I encourage it too. It doesn't mean a damn thing, right? There's nothing here about, you put out that big, that word in broad, burn, right? It's what everybody wants to hear. But you're not telling us what's going to burn, how much is going to burn, how a burn is going to work. Not telling us a thing about it. Protect, we respect each legitimate Shibarium project and understand scams will exist on L2. So we must do our own research, provide feedback so others can learn about people and projects without FUD, but in truth. So in other words, if they come across anybody who they consider is a scam or fudding or whatever, they'll let everybody know. So, there'll be a network of, truth, right? Whose truth? Their truth. Help. Whenever possible, Shibarium projects should prioritize donating to our larger community. That's, nothing wrong with calling for that. But again, these are all things that they would like to see happen. Nothing that we know is going to happen. By finding and supporting a global network of nonprofit organizations. Thank you for all who have donated in the recent and far along past. Grow. We encourage Shibarium projects to not only burn and donate, but also to place a portion of profits into the Shib Doggy DAO Foundation that decides how the assets in the DAO wallet can be best applied. So, are they saying that anyone who builds on Shibarium, they're asking them for a donation to this? I don't know how many people are actually going to want to build on this. I really don't, because there's too much weird shit going on here. So we'll see. If it ever gets launched, we'll see. Obviously, teams that do this are truly for the community. So, all right. So we understand that not every project in our ecosystem, like I said, not everybody's going to live up to this, but whatever. The who of Shibarium. So this is where it got really, really, really weird and a little offensive to me. Because what he does, is he goes through every kind of religion or spiritual belief that he can think of, or anything that he knows about. I guess maybe this is something that he's been studying, all the different religions or whatever. And he tries to spin Shibarium so that it fits into their belief systems, all of them, right? And suggests that even though there's a divide between good and evil, or even between all these different religions. And we all know, I can tell you, the majority of conflict and wars and things like that from the beginning of time have had to do with religion, right? So since, again, the beginning of time, we've never really been able to get it together. We've never been able to agree on a spiritual belief or a non-spiritual belief. We've never actually been able to get along in that way, although we keep working on it. Well, good news. Shibarium is going to be the key to fixing all that, right? Unbelievable. To my atheist friends, Shibarium represents a natural progression of the world that recognizes the harnessable power of the people and directs it in a closed system that prevents the resources, power, and love therein from being siphoned to only a privileged few. Your belief in science is noble, and I respect who you are. I hope that you can find in your heart to work with us and make this world a better place, not because of a particular religion, but because it is the right thing to do. So, I'm sorry, have a lot of atheists said they don't want to work with Shibarium because maybe you have a certain belief system? This is weird to me. Really, really weird. He talks to Buddhists. And then he puts what he said in Sanskrit so that, people who read that can read that. To my friends who are Christians, as many of you in the faith have seen, we are close to the global shift found in Revelations, and this Shibarium represents our attempt to set up a system away from the beast system that is evolving before your eyes. Join us with faith that you are doing the righteous thing. Are you freaking kidding me? That is offensive. If he thinks that he is actually catering to any religion or any belief or anything like that, right? That they're going to say, oh, okay, well, oh, wow, we need to be a part of this. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Not the way that works, right? That's offensive, and it's going to be offensive to a lot of people. He talks to Hindus, namaste. He talks to Jews. He talks to Muslims, Shinto, Taoists, Wiccan, Luciferians, right? Why don't you just, there should be a paragraph in here basically just for pagans, right? For any religion I missed, surely unless you worship evil, your religion has the common thread of a righteous world and belief system. These values are being destroyed, and at the same time, the resources, time, money, and love of people is being siphoned out of the community and into the ancient bloodline of corrupt shadow leaders that continue to keep countless lives in bondage. Shibarium is how we win. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm laughing about it now. I was pissed about it before. Now I'm just finding it funny. And no matter your belief, I invite you with this letter to join us. Shibarium's how we win. Shibarium's how we beat evil. Oh my goodness. In the next blog, I will outline the year in review, 2022, good and bad. I'll discuss FUD and expect FUD for this blog as well. I'm glad you expect it. Finally, in the last few blogs, we'll get into the intake form, how and why, technical details of the L2 tokenization for new projects, and the start of Shibarium Beta as Kyle returns after the loss of his father. Be safe out there, everyone, and talk soon. All right, so I guess basically we know that there's going to be at least 4 of these articles, right? What's the distance between them? Do we get one a month, one every couple months, one every couple weeks? What is it, right? It is a delay tactic. The next one that's going to come out isn't going to say anything either. It's going to talk about what's already happened, right? And then in the last few, we don't know how many are between the next one and the last few. There could be a half a dozen of these. There could be more. I don't know. He doesn't say, right? How long can he keep this going? How long are you going to let him keep this going? You need to start thinking with your brain. You need to start seeing through the bullshit and facing a little reality, as difficult as that is, that this person is so full of themselves, can't see past their own sense of self-righteousness, that it's not even about Shiba Inu anymore. It might not be about Bone. It might not be about Leash. It might not be about anything like that. It's becoming strictly and totally about him, about the person. And he wants to keep you strung along. There's like a cult being developed here, and he thinks he's a cult leader, right? Is the way it's feeling to me. It's just my opinion, right? You can disagree. That's my opinion. It's really disturbing what's going on here to me. Really, really disturbing. And I really hope that eyes are opened and that we don't continue to spin everything that is said and turn everything into, try to make some, something positive out of this, because it's a bunch of horse shit. It's a bunch of garbage. It's disrespectful to anyone who has ever put their trust in this person or in this team. It's really, really, really bad. And for all of you YouTube content providers out there who are going to read this and try to spin it and make something positive of it, or keep the community on some sort of line of hope, of positivity, because maybe that's where you get a lot of views from, shame on you. Shame on you. Let's be honest with people, okay? This is a bunch of crap. And if you don't believe it's a bunch of crap, genuinely, if you don't believe that, that's fine. You can disagree with me, right? Whatever. But I have a feeling that there's a lot of people who are basically just on the bandwagon. You know that there are a lot of people who are invested heavily in these things, and they're really looking for some positive things to happen. They're looking for their lives to change. And you're playing on their emotions as you keep trying to tell them that, oh, yeah, things are going well. Yeah, this is great, right? Because the more you do that, the more they come back and watch your channel, right? And the more money you're making. You should be ashamed of yourself, because this is horseshit. Right. I am going to leave it at that. And, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to cover this anymore, because this is such crap that I've got to do everything that I can. I don't have a lot of people that follow me, unfortunately. I wish I had more. Because I really need as many people to understand as possible a different perspective than the one that is being pushed to you by Shytoshi and by some other influencers and stuff that are out there. You really need to start opening your eyes about what's going on here. And this has nothing to do with Shiba Inu, because this team and Shytoshi do not represent Shiba Inu. They are not Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu can have a future. If the community wants it, and if we can find someone to actually develop Shiba Inu and do some things for it. But I've been saying it all along, and I'm not changing my mind now. These people are not doing it. They're using you. All right. My opinion, and that's what you get, good, bad, or ugly, on this channel. So argue with me if you want, agree with me if you want, but if you want to discuss it, let's discuss it in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the don't like button. I don't care what you do. I just felt like I had to say what I wanted to say. So I will talk to y'all later. Ciao.